Gosh. This wasn't such a good idea, Alan. Hello everyone, and welcome to one of the oldest railway stations still in use in the world, and that is Edge Hill railway station on the outskirts of Liverpool. Opened in 1830, and although you can't see it from the images that I can show you, the original station is still down here. You may think, well, it doesn't look anything like a station to me, and that's true, mainly because the buildings were all cut into the rock. It was a narrow cutting, and the space just wasn't there for them to build conventional buildings for passengers and rolling stock, so they were cut into the actual side of the cutting. The central tunnel is known as Wapping Tunnel, and that led down into Liverpool city centre. Trains going downhill would have gone under their own power, but then would have been rope hauled on the way back up because of the gradient. Back in those days, the locomotives just didn't have the power to get up the gradient. I can't get any closer than this because you do need special permission from rail track, I think, other people. The present buildings, which are behind me, date from 1838. But the buildings here on my right, you can see the arches. These arches are underneath the approach ramp to the modern station building. This, of course, goes back to the days before Lime Street was built. The original station here was Crown Street, and that was the original terminus for the Liverpool to Manchester Railway. And there is sadly nothing left of it now whatsoever. But we're walking now up towards Edge Hill railway station. As I say, not the prettiest, it's form over function. No. Function over form, get it right, twit. Photographing a railway station like this is quite difficult. It's not a pretty architectural design, and for that reason I think I'm going to be concentrating more on details. We've got the signals over here and the speed limit warning sign. We'll see what that's like. It's a bit of a nothing shot, but who knows. And I've come out today with the E-M1 Mk.II and just the 12 to 40, and I'm looking down here at the moment at the platform curving away from me, and we've got the obligatory yellow warning line beyond which you're not supposed to walk. I quite like this little puddle in the foreground, lines leading away into the distance. And I think the original purpose of the Wapping Tunnel was mainly for goods, because Crown Street was the passenger terminal and that used a different tunnel. Anyway, let's see what detail we can pick out on the buildings themselves. Let's just go through the underpass. As I'm sure you all know by now, I'm an absolute sucker for peeling paint, old architectural details. These benches look rather tatty, flaking paint. I love all that sort of thing. I love the way these stone blocks have been incised with this decoration. That's tremendous. And the colouring that you get, the variations. My lovely peeling paint. Some of the adjacent tracks we have a very long freight train, GB rail freight wagons waiting to be hauled off somewhere. Let's just take a shot of one of the bogies on the back end of this wagon. I'll just give you a general shot of the layout of the station buildings. I'm just going to try and show you some of the more overgrown archway buildings that you can see from here, but they are incredibly overgrown right now. Let's just see if I can get into one of them. Might just be able to make you aware of what they're like. Oh, I can't get in, but phew, that was an effort. I was looking straight through to the western end of one of the other platforms. Gosh. This wasn't such a good idea, Alan. Wow. I guess you might say that was a bit silly, but it's the first time I've managed to get inside one of these rooms. But the The iron bars are just amazing. Wow. Goodness me. Oh, well, I've made the effort to get in here, so I'm going to take some shots now. I really don't know how good the video is going to be. I haven't quite worked out how to set this to low light filming yet. Duh. But anyway, I'm going to try and do some stills now because these spaces are just so atmospheric. And it's also pouring down with rain. At least I'm undercover in here. Well, I guess you should say that I'm too old for this sort of stuff. But you know, I just have a fascination for these old buildings. Detailed bits of whatever it might be, old wood, bricks, stonework. And sometimes, you know, yeah, it's great to have the wonderful vistas, the smashing landscapes, the sunsets, the seascapes. I don't really have that within easy reach. I'm not going to say I can't do it. The truth is, I'm probably too bone idle to bother most of the time. But I fill my photographic folio, I guess you'd say, with interesting detail shots, quirky stuff. So, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. What I'm saying is that if you haven't got access to the lovely landscapes and seascapes, countryside, there is always something to be found for you to photograph. Whether it be heavy, industrialized areas or the sort of detail shots that I've been doing today, and indeed the ruined architecture, as well as this marvellous old station here. I've got a freight train coming towards us now, so I'll let you guys have a look at that. Class 66 GB rail freight livery. But look at this tremendous detail in the stonework and the quirkiness of a door that no longer leads anywhere. So, time to say goodbye to Edge Hill railway station. I hope you found it mildly entertaining. Goodness knows what the images are going to be like, certainly nothing to shout about. Alright there. Yeah, at least I've made the effort to come out. Brought the still camera with me. I've endured a little bit of rain, and it's spitting with rain now, so I don't want to chance my arm getting the Osmo soaked. So, from a rather damp and grey Liverpool Edge Hill railway station, I'm going to say, look after yourselves, enjoy your photography, and I'll see you all probably next week. Bye bye.